Hello, friend. How you doing? You look beautiful. And if you're new here, hi, how are you? Yes, come on in the room. Come on in the room on today. I am Kalilah, and this is Keeping Up with Kalilah. I am an actor slash life coach slash comedian here to bring you joy. This is a channel for people looking to have an elevated, healthy mindset, achieve some goals, and have overall fun, because I am an entertainer. On this video, I am going to share my tips on how I manifested my dream job. Now, this method can work for any job, any field, anytime, doing whatever your dream profession is, so stay tuned. Before we get into the video, just hit that like for seeing a black girl creating content. Hit that like for comedy. Hit that like for my braids. Hit the like for the fact that I have on a choker. Y'all, I haven't had on a choker since 2014. Y'all remember when it came back in the style? Y'all are getting so much neck action, pause, that I decided to judge her up so y'all could get a little bit of some pizzazz, because y'all just getting just this and up. I don't know, my face is, you know, does what it does, but come on. So this is for y'all. This choker is for y'all, okay? But before I get to that, I have to give you guys some context leading up to this technique. For all of y'all looking to skip straight to the method and technique, here is the timestamp. Did you catch it? Before I get into the techniques, I'm gonna give you guys my story, the beginning of my manifestation journey, and let y'all know what happened and leading up to this decision, because it's all intertwined. As I mentioned in the previous video about manifestation, I found out about manifestation through my friend Becky, and we were on a cruise ship and she was telling me how she manifested her dream job. I watched The Secret. The Secret is a movie that was shot by Rhonda Byrne. She's the new age law of attraction kind of expert, and her movie and book introduced so many people to this law. The language in the book and in the movie is layman's terms. It's very basic, so a lot of people enjoy the book and it connects with the book. So I connected with the book and I'm like, oh my God, this is fire. Manifestation is attracting a specific experience, person, you know, job, money, health, just the ability to attract what you want in life. And the principle of manifestation is based on the law of attraction, which says that like attracts like. So in layman's terms, if you want to have a life full of good experiences, you have to put out good feelings to receive that. That's as basic as you get with that. So I watched the movie, I'm reading the book, and in the book it's sectioned off. They have it very nicely sectioned off into areas of your life. So they have like a wealth section, they have a family section, I believe, or a relationship section, they have a health section, career section, right? So it narrows down into kind of explaining how you get started with the journey. So I'm talking to Becky and I'm sharing out my excitement. I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, the idea that I could literally script and control my life, it didn't compute. Like, I didn't even think about that. Like, I understood the idea of creating, like having a desire. So you'd be like, oh, I want to be an actor when I grow up. And I'm just going to believe that I'm going to be an actor and I'm going to do all I can. But if it happens, it happens. I'm lucky. And if it doesn't, then I was one of the people that failed. That's kind of how I saw it. Not the idea that I can say if I will be this, so I can say if I will be that, right? So, excuse me, I'm talking fast, so let me just get a little sip. So I've always been about my career. I've always been about money. I had 2 jobs when I was 16 and I didn't have to. Like, my mother wasn't the type of parent that was like, oh, you got to give me money every week. I was just like, I like money, so where can I work? Thank you. So so that's where my mom went. I'm like, where's the money? What's going on? So my friend was like, well, manifestation works a lot better if you are very specific in what you want to attract. Like, that's the way it works. So I'm like, okay, specific in what way? I'm like, I want to be on Broadway. I want to be in a Broadway show. Like, that was my goal. And so she's like, you got to get more specific. So I'm like, a musical? And she's like, even more. And I'm like, okay. So I have, at the time, I had gotten callbacks are, because everybody watching this ain't gonna be an actor. So let me tell y'all, for those of y'all who don't know, when you first have initial auditions to be in a show in theater and they like you, they call you back. They continue to call you back. And once you know that you're being called back, you understand that you're really being considered for the roles. So at that time I was like, I got callbacks from Motown, I got callbacks from the Book of Mormon, and I got callbacks from the Lion King. So I want to be in one of those 3 shows. And she was like, no, even more. So the first tip that's most important is to narrow it down, like really, really specific, down to the role. For me, I was like, I want to be on Broadway. Whichever one of these shows want to put me on a stage, cast me and let's go. But I had to narrow it down. You can narrow it down based off of however you see fit. So for me, because this was my first time working out how to use this law, I was like, let me use the show that I feel like likes me the most, right? Now, this is not necessary. You determine how hard or how easy something is to attract into your life. But I'm saying, when I was beginning, I'm like, let me see, I'm gonna try to attract the easiest one. Lion Kingdom, Ben called me back mad times. I know the casting director on first name basis, so let's go for it, right? So I'm battling with this law because just it's so new. So I'm trying to figure this out, and I'm trying to manage my emotions and manage my thoughts and everything. I'm trying to figure out what I can do to stay in the belief, to not only stay believing and stay expecting, but also stay in good spirits about it. So one of the biggest things that I learned was to submerge yourself in the world of the job. So for me, the job that I was attempting to manifest, I had access to know what I would need to have completed in order to be even considered for the job. Okay, so I'm like, okay, I gotta learn these songs. I gotta, know where the theater's at. I gotta know, get accustomed with my future castmates. Go on the website. So just get submerged in the world. Know it, feel it, understand it. Like, really go for being clear with the world, right? Let me just give y'all a different example, because I don't want it to be so specific to acting and arts in the world of entertainment. Say you looking to manifest a job as a lawyer, right? You just graduated law school. You know which city you want to work in. So you're now practicing for the bar, getting ready to take the bar in that city, and you're like, I want to manifest a job where I have this amount of money, or I have these types of roles, and blah, 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 in this city. So the way that you would start to narrow it down is to literally looking at the firms in the city, looking at your potential future co-workers and their bios and where they hang out and where it's located. Go take a ride from where you would be, your prospective neighborhood, to your job. Get accustomed to the commute. If you have the ability to submerge yourself into the place, like physically, we don't right now. The internet is your friend. Google Maps. Like, you Google Maps it and get a picture of the building. Like, start submerging yourself in the world. Because what we're doing is we are minimizing the gap of like imagination and reality. That's the biggest thing, is tricking your subconscious into not recognizing the difference. They're like, oh no, I am there. And then life happens where you've manifested, right? So after I submerged myself in the world, I use a method called, what I didn't even realize was scripting. At the time, I thought I was just journaling. So the idea with scripting is that you are writing out your future life as if it's happening now and feeling it. So I would be like, oh, I'm walking into the dressing room, and I knew the names of these people. The funny thing is, all of my previous castmates, I wonder if, I don't know that we've ever discussed this, so it's now I wonder if they go think I'm a creep. Like, I dead knew all y'all names before I met y'all. I knew, I was following them on Instagram. Like, I was completely immersed in the world. Oh no, I'm about to be in there. Like, that's my cast. What are you talking about? So I was scripting, so I was like, oh, like I had a really great rehearsal today. Like, it was so funny. I told this joke and like really going deep into the thought. I was like, oh, I had lunch at this spot in between shows. It was so good. I'm looking up restaurants next to the Minskoff Theater. Like, oh, this is where I had dinner today. Oh my gosh, like I got this great massage because my muscles were sore. I was singing so hard. Really immersed. But being careful that if I start to feel a twinge of longing that feels kind of desperate, or like, oh, why can't it be me, or why, when that starts happening, when that kind of like urgency that turns into desperation, gotta pull back, because all you are projecting is that, oh, I can't get it, I can't get it, I can't get it. And that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get back, you can't get it. So if I would get too immersed in their lives, or too like, and then start getting a little bit of that envy, I would detach, like, okay, the energy is turning. So monitoring my feelings and the energy around it. It's a balance, y'all. The next tip is use your environment. One of the biggest things that I was able to use is music. This is a musical that I wanted to be in, so that was the environment that I chose to change. So I knew the soundtrack. I'm listening to the soundtrack. I'm looking at the songs. Like, I'm playing the songs when I wake up. I have pictures of the logo of the Lion King logo on my vision board. Like, I'm very familiar with the costumes, like that type of environment. But if we're talking about the law school thing, it would be a situation where you would set up an environment that reminds you and makes you feel as if you have that job. So set up your little desk, put a picture up. That's the reason why people are so prominent in using vision boards, because visualization and seeing you want to saturate all of your senses. You want to use as much of your environment as you can. And it may feel crazy. Oh, not even it's gonna feel crazy. You're gonna feel like you're a Looney Tune, and in a way it kind of is, because you're fighting against what the circumstances are. Let me not say fighting, because fighting is a resistance, and we're really not, I want to use words that are not promoting resistance. So you are pushing through your environment, you're pushing through your circumstances, so it makes sense that you would have to go extra hard, because circumstances and reality is right in your face. Like, this is what's in my bank account right now, and that's what we've built so much of our life on. If I may, one of the things that has helped me grasp the idea even more is the idea that we're still in this present moment, not actualizing the present moment. So the way I feel right now is putting energy into what's going to happen later. So we're just on a delay. So if you just remember that, like, this is a delay. Like, how do I want my future to look? How do I want my future to feel? How you check in with how you feel right now. That's what's most important. That's the reason why using your environment in a very intentional way is so important. The next tip that I was really important in my manifestation journey was repetition. And repetition works as an accelerator, and it also works as a shield from your inner thoughts and doubts. I'll just go a little bit deeper. So whatever your beliefs were before you decided to embark on your journey of manifestation, those beliefs were embedded in you for however old you are. So like, if you're 32, you've had those limiting beliefs of like, money don't come easy, or I gotta work mad hard, or I can't never get a break, or you've had these limiting beliefs for mad long. You're replaying thoughts and conditioning around money and around your circumstances so much so that you don't even recognize it. And the proof and evidence of what you've been telling yourself about a certain thing is reflective in that thing. So the way you feel about a certain subject in your life is in the facts. So it's very simple. You can do an audit. I would suggest that you audit before you even launch your journey on manifesting your dream job. Audit the way you feel about work. Think about your thoughts that you say. Think about how working and how a job makes you feel. Think about how your career makes you feel. And also look at where you are. If you're unemployed, if you can't keep a job, if you're never paid for your worth, if you are constantly getting mistreated, that is a reflection of how you feel about work. So we got to first start and change how you feel about work and career in general before you even launch into manifesting your dream job. Okay? So go back and do that first before we start with all of these steps. The next step was so crucial to me that I'm gonna have to tell you a bit of a story for you to understand what I mean. The next step is forget about it. I'm taking it back to my New York roots, and I'm gonna say, forget about it. Forget about it. It's so important. And when I say forget about it, I mean put it out of your mind. And let me explain to you what happened during the beginning of my manifestation journey. That was a hard concept. That was a very hard concept to understand. Like, how can I be thinking and dreaming and loving this thing so much, and then you expect me to act like I don't want it, or that it's like, what do you mean? So let me explain to you. After I put The Lion King on my vision board and really started manifesting it, I was teetering on obsession, and so I was going back and forth, and I was noticing what was happening. Like, I kept getting called back, and they would call me in, and then something would fall through. I would obsess about it, and then something would fall through. Like, for example, I got called in, and then the casting director said, like, I just want you to sing this for me. This is a 3-week cover on Broadway. We already know you have the range. Like, basically, like, I don't even have to audition for it. Just come in and sing. He told me this on Monday, and the audition was for the following Wednesday. Y'all don't know how stressed out I was. I was stressing myself out. I was calling people. I was like doubling down on meditation. Mind you, I was already, whatever I was doing before I got that call was right. That was putting me in alignment. And before I got the call, I had let it release. I was going about my daily work. I was doing things, and I had released it. And as soon as I started obsessing about it, the day before, he emails me, and he's like, oh, we found someone, we'll be in touch. So everything, the bottom dropped out. I was so distraught. I was just like, you know what, Kalilah, like, if you don't get it, you don't get it. Like, just forget it. Just forget it. Put it out of your mind. You already made the request. You've put yourself in positions to be ready for the request. Like, I was in dance lessons, singing lessons. I knew the lines. Like, I was already there. So just release it. Let it go. And I was like, forget it. Don't y'all know that they hit me up within 2 weeks of that, and then I booked it that day. And so forgetting about it is crucial. And I think if I can be so candid and say that to me is the most difficult part. That's the hardest for me. I hope this video was helpful for you. And if this is your first brush with manifestation and the beginning of your journey, feel free to leave as many questions as you want. There's no dumb questions. Like, I would love to answer some, get more detailed about my scripting process, my environmental process, my declaration, like how I, put dates to things. Like, I would be willing to talk about whatever, because I'm so passionate about this. And now that I was able to see where I've manifested so much in my life, I can also see where I was falling off and why stuff wasn't manifested in a time that I wanted it to, because now I have the powers. I know what I'm doing now. Like, I'm ready. So I really want to share that with you, and thank you so much for listening to me. If you've made it all the way to the end, I hope you can tell how passionate and how much joy this brings me, and I'm just grateful that you guys are here to experience this with me and you staying to the end. If anything about this video brought you joy, a smile, a laugh, any type of feeling, give that a like, smash that like button, smash that notification button, smash that subscribe button, and for extra cool points, why don't you go ahead and share this? Share this with somebody that's interested in manifestation, or somebody that you think might be open-minded, or somebody that you think might want a little mental pick-me-up and inspiration, right? I hope y'all enjoyed this choker. Again, I'm ready to take it off. Again, this is Keeping Up with Kalilah, and this is a channel for people who want to elevate their mindset and progression and just have a good time. So I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.